Hey GX community, this is GXBOB here again to showcase to you guys another wonderful product. This one is going to be about front cameras on my 2017 GX460. I'm one of those owners that just happened to pick up a base model that didn't come with park assist, it didn't come with front cameras, it didn't come with a whole list of bells and whistles. But then again, if I did pick up a truck with all that, I wouldn't have this channel, would I? So with that being said, I reached out to quite a few people and places to find out what kind of cameras were out there. I even went to the Lexus dealership, and trust me, I don't want to go there again. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars just to have a camera installed. So next best thing, I looked for an aftermarket product that was going to meet a couple of criterias: quality and ease of installation. So I found out a product by BeatSonic. BeatSonic is all over YouTube, it's all over Google, it's all over the place. So I read into BeatSonic, and I found out that they have headquarters in Japan, they have headquarters in Southern California and Canada. So that was a huge plus. Japan is synonymous with quality, as you guys all know, owning Toyotas and Lexuses. Also, I was looking to the ease of installation. I looked at their wiring diagrams, and don't let wires intimidate you, okay? So this is what this video is about. We're gonna lay out all our wires and make sure everything is step by step and easy to install, step by step for you guys. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna go ahead and open up the boxes and check what we have right here. With the Lexus GX460 kit, you got to buy two kits, okay? One is the actual camera itself, and one is the interface for your specific truck, which is the GX460. So whenever you buy the camera, which is pretty much universal for any truck or car, you got to buy the wiring bundle for your specific car. So let's go ahead and open them up. All right, guys, come on. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the camera and set the wiring bundle aside. The camera is stated BCAM11A for the front cameras. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the box here. Come with a set of instructions. Okay, let's set that aside. Comes with a little Allen key. Let's open up this package right here. Here you guys go. Here is the camera itself. The camera has a little bracket right here for you to tie onto your grill. It also has a little Allen screw, and here's the Allen key for it. It's got a really long wire to plug in to this plug right here that's going to go straight into your car. So let's take a look at this. We're not sure if we're going to need a bracket or if we're going to find some custom way, or maybe we don't need a custom way to install it onto our grill. Maybe it's just drill right into the grill. We'll find out in a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other box. The other box is the wire interface for Lexus GX460. It is model CS5EP. Good news for you guys, the instructions are in English. Okay, they have a wiring diagram right here. Everything is in English for you guys, even though the box is all Japanese. But I am going to try to make this installation so easy that you will not need a wiring diagram or the instructions. Okay, let's set this aside and let's open up this wire bundle right here for you guys. Here you go. Here is the camera selector module right here. It's got 3 RCA plugs going in and out. It's got your main wire bundle. Here's your wire splitter. I think one goes into behind the navigation unit, and the other one, it's going to go to the other side of your navigation unit when you unplug it. Here you have RCA cables, and you have your switch. Okay, just from reading what this camera enables, it gives you the option of viewing front camera, it gives you the option of viewing rear camera, and also brings it back to your navigation screen. Okay, I took the liberty of dividing everything up for you in an orderly fashion, with this being the front of the vehicle and this being your driver's cabin. Okay, here's the engine compartment, here's your front grille. Here's what you're going to have to install behind the radio, and this is where your dashboard is, or your center console, or anywhere you want to put the switch. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap all this up, and let's go to the truck and install all this. Okay folks, we brought the camera all the way to the front grille right here just to show you guys. It's going to be facing this way, upright, just like this. The screw is going to be on the bottom, and we're going to have to find a place on the grille that's going to go through here, right here, and we're going to take an Allen key and we're going to tighten it so this whole entire thing will fit right here, just on your grille, just like this. But in order for us to fit something on here and for it to be secure, the part of your grille that goes in here has to be at least 5 millimeters according to BeatSonic. So let's find out where we're going to install this on our grille. I already located a perfect spot. Here's the Lexus logo. I counted down. Here is our eyes, and here's our sad frowny face. Right underneath our sad frowny face right here, I found a little piece right here where the camera is going to attach to. Except this piece right here is under 5 millimeters. It is short 50 thousandths. So in order to compensate for that short of 50 thousandths and to secure this tightly, what I am going to do is I'm going to probably cut about 1/2 inch of 3M double-sided tape off right here, and I'm going to wrap it around here and have our camera stick right onto there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I already cut off about 1/2 inch worth of 3M double-sided tape right here. I'm going to wrap it over so we get a good thickness around this piece right here. 3M is really good at sticking to everything. This thing is not going to come off. After I peel the red protective cover off my double-sided tape, it's going to look like this. It's wrapped around my little grill fin right here. Now I'm going to take this camera, I'm going to unscrew it all the way to its fullest opening just so I could slide it onto my grill. First, I'm going to go ahead and take the camera. I'm going to take the other end of the plug right here. I'm going to take this end and I'm going to slide it through the top. When I slide it through, I'm going to grab my left hands over here and I'm going to reach for the wire that came through the grill. Try to grab the wire and go above your crash beams and just route it to the top. Don't worry, we will clean up our wires later on. No need to do it right now. All we need to do is just grab the wires and get it up and over. Now that we already ran our wires to the top of the grill, we're going to go ahead and position this camera into the slot over the 3M tape. I'm going to go ahead and remove this blue tape that came with the camera. I'm going to slide it over. You're going to get a feel for it. It's going to stop. You're going to want to snug it in a little bit. After you snug it in a little bit, do another quarter turn. You do not want to over tighten. You don't want to break your grill here. Now look how tight it is. Let's back up and see how it looks. Looks pretty fairly stock. Let's look at a side view. That's the overhang right there. Let's get a little closer so you guys can see the overhang. Not that bad, right? Does not stick out. It looks like it's part of the grill itself. Okay, let's go to the top of the grill and let's go ahead and run the wires. Okay guys, we are right behind my grill. My grill is right here. My engine is over here. My radiator is right here. My grill is right here. I went to the liberty of putting red tape on the wire just so you guys could see it a lot better while I'm routing it. I am not going to route it very tight against any of the beams or any of the wire harnesses, only because I need the type of slack that's going to give me the ability to remove my grill and my front bumper often, because I do work on my vehicle a lot. So I'm going to route it underneath this plastic piece right here that is on the side of your headlamp assembly. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and route it right now. Right underneath your plastic piece right here is a huge opening. You can slide it right underneath there, right there. Like I said, I'm going to give it a lot of slack, so I'm just going to leave it dangling right there. And from there, I am going to route it right on the side of my headlamps, because there's another huge opening on the side of the headlamps. Here is my headlamp, the top of my driver's side headlamps, and here is the huge gap I'm talking about that goes directly to the front of your car battery. Okay, let's go ahead and route it through there. At this point in the wiring, we're going to want to remove this plastic cover. It's got 4 knobs right here, 4 retainer clips. You just push down on these knobs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Carefully lift it up to remove it. Be careful not to bring this up too quickly. It will fly out on you and you will lose them. Okay, there you go. After you removed all four, go ahead and remove this plastic cover right here so we gain access to our firewall. Once we look at our firewall, we are going to see that we do have a rubber grommet that is going to give us access to the inside driver's cabin. And this is the rubber grommet I'm talking to you about, this right here. We're going to route all our wires through there. Now we're going to grab the longest flathead screwdriver you guys can find, preferably something with a blunt tip, and we're going to push on this rubber grommet right here, this big round rubber grommet that is about 4 to 5 inches diameter. We're just going to push on the edge until it comes loose. This will give us the access that we need to route our wires from the engine compartment into the driver's cabin, okay? So once you get it loose and you could stick this through, you want to do is create a wedge and then push the screwdriver to create an opening, and you're going to want to keep this screwdriver lodged somewhere in order to keep that opening open so you have access to push in the other end of your camera plug. This is the other end of your camera plug. You're going to take it and you're going to shove it down inside that hole that the screwdriver created for you. Let's see if I can do it. Now we could go inside of our driver's cabin, look at our e-brake right above it, and we're going to see that opening that we created with our flathead screwdriver. And here's the wire that we're looking for. Now grab the wire and pull on it, not too hard, just pull on it until you get full slack right here until it stops. Leave it right there for the rest of the wire harness. Next step, with a panel removal tool, you're going to remove this leather piece side trim right here. Sometimes you don't need it. So if it gets a little too stuck, then you're going to probably have to stick this somewhere in the crease. But right here, it looks like it's coming out fairly easily. One piece. On our driver's side, we're going to want to do the same. Just pull on this leather side piece right here. Just pull it out, it's all clips. Don't be afraid to pull. Next, we're going to remove this leather piece right here. You can grab your panel removal tool. If you cannot get a good grab and hold of it, like me right here, I can dig my fingers in it. And remember, this plastic piece on the side right here is one piece and it's part of it. Be careful to give it support when you pull out this piece, or else this will crack on you. Hold on to it while I pull. There you go, all one piece. Let's take our plastic panel tool and let's go ahead and dislodge this side panel. No need to pull it out all the way, you could just leave it right there. And next we are going to take this AC vent and this whole entire wood trim out along with it, just by pulling on it with your hands. Be careful to give it support throughout the whole entire plastic panel. Go ahead and remove it, and let's go ahead and set it aside. Next, you'll want to grab your fingers, place it underneath this panel right here, and pull on it. It's all clips. Pull on it, comes right out, and unplug the black plug behind your start switch. Take a hold of this leather boot right below your shift knob and pull down. It should dislodge. Once it dislodges, unscrew your shift knob, turn it counterclockwise. Until it comes out, set it aside. Next, you want to open up your cup holder so you have access for this ledge underneath this center console right here. You're going to take both your hands and dig underneath here and pull this panel upward. Once you pull it upward, you're going to want to pull it towards you, just so it dislodges out of those two front clips. Once you dislodge those two front clips by pulling this, you're going to want to take the boot and pull it over your shift knob stick and pull it up. You are going to see a button right down here, right next to your lever. You're going to push that while taking your gear out of park and put it all the way to the back. Now you can pull it out. Now you're going to unplug all your plugs that is holding this center console to the rest of the vehicle. Here's one plug. Second plug. Third plug. You got two additional plugs right here. There you go. This is the lever I was talking to you about. By pushing this, you can disengage this stick out of park and bring it to the back. Just make sure you have your brakes on, your emergency brakes on when you do this if you are on it. Underneath your radio, you will have a rectangular plastic panel right here. Grab both hands and pull it out. It's just two clips. Set it aside. Underneath your radio, you will have two 10mm bolts that you need to remove. Both of them are in the corner. On the passenger side of your radio, you're going to have two 10mm bolts. Remove them, place them in your cup holder for safekeeping. On the driver's side, you're going to have the exact same 10mm bolts as you do your passenger side. Let's go ahead and remove those and do it by hand since there's a lack of space on this side. Now that we're going to remove our Navi and our radio, we're going to want to protect it from any scratches. So what I did was I took a bunch of clean rags and I just laid it down right here. I took a car wash mitt and I put it over my shift knob just so it doesn't scratch anything when I pull this out and bump it accidentally. Now you're going to want to grab both hands, place it underneath your radio and pull. It should come out fairly easily. Be careful not to scratch anything. After we remove the radio, we're going to want to pull it out as far as we can and push it down as low as we can. We don't need to disconnect it. We just need access to the rear of the navigation system. So go ahead and just leave your radio where it's at intact. Take a couple of clean rags, place it over your radio because we are going to sit the navigation system on top of here. Now we're going to grab both hands on both sides and we're going to wiggle this navigation system loose, okay? Should come out with a couple of clips. After laying our navigation system face down, we're going to look right behind it and you're going to see a black plug right here. This is black plug we are going to disconnect. Leave it disconnected for our next step. Go to your workbench and grab your interface bundle. Your interface bundle has these two white plugs, okay? It's going to have a whole bunch of wires. It's going to have red, purple, brown, black. It's going to have two RCAs right here. Go ahead and bring this to your vehicle. You're going to take one end, the female side of your white plug, and you're going to plug it into the car side of your wire here. You're going to take the male side of your white connector and you're going to plug into the back of the navigation unit. Our next steps, we're going to grab our camera selector module and we're going to grab two extension RCA cables. Bring it to your vehicle. You're going to take the car side of your plug, grab the RCA that came out of the car side of your plug and attach a RCA extension to it. The other end of this RCA is going to go into your camera selector, into the plug that says back camera for your backup camera. Next, grab the RCA cable that's coming out of the back of your navigation system. Go ahead and attach an RCA cable extension to it. The other end of it, you are going to grab your camera selector box and you're going to plug it into the one that's marked output. Next, go to your workbench and grab your 5-pin connector that came with your interface box. Okay, it's going to have red, black, white, purple, and brown. You're going to need 2 butt connectors because we're going to cut the power and ground off of this wire to tie in other additional power and grounds, okay? You're going to need a wire cutter and you're going to need a set of crimpers in order to connect these wires together. So let's go ahead and cut off the red connector. Let's go ahead and cut off the black connector. Leave the brown, purple, and white intact. We will use these plugs. Let's go ahead and bring this to the vehicle. In the back of your navigation unit, go ahead and cut the red wire plug off. We're going to connect them with the butt connectors. And the black wires right in back of the interface, go ahead and cut that connector off. Okay, now we are going to grab our interface bundle right here. We're going to connect the purple with the purple. Just plug it right in. Purple with the purple until it snaps. We're going to take the white, actually we're going to take the brown and connect it with the brown until it snaps in. Next, we're going to take both of the black wires, the ones that we snipped the caps off. We are going to take off about 1/2 inch off the tips, take off the shielding, take the wires and wind them together. After you wind them together, grab a butt connector and crimp these two wires together. Do the same thing with the red wires. Go ahead and take 1/2 inch of shielding off the tips. Wind the copper wires together so they stick together. Grab a butt connector, go ahead and connect them together. Take your crimper and crimp. Next, go to your workbench, grab your front camera wire bundle. It is the one with this plug right here, and the other end is an RCA cable. I already took 3M black tape and taped all the wires together so it would look neat. And at the end of this, I have the black and red wire that we are going to cut and crimp along to the back of our navigation unit with the rest of the red and black wires. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Bring it to the vehicle. Grab the RCA plug from your front camera bundle. Plug it into the front camera port of your camera selector module. On the front camera bundle, go ahead and grab the red and black wires. We are going to take off about 1/2 inch off of each one so the wires are showing. We are going to wrap this with the red and the black wire that came from our 5-pin interface plug. Remember this plug? It has the red and the black wire that came out of it. We are going to connect these red and black to the red black of our front camera bundle. Let's go ahead and do that now. I took the shielding off the black wire. I'm wrapping it up with the black wire of the front camera bundle. Now I'm taking these two black wires and I am going to crimp it to the black wires that is coming out of the navigation unit. Put it right inside this butt connector. So now all 4 of these wires are sharing the same ground. Go ahead and crimp it. I'm taking the red wire that I just stripped from the front camera bundle. I am going to wind it with the 5-pin interface bundle right here. It's red. I'm going to wind it together. Remember, all the reds go to red, all the blacks go to black. Really straightforward. I'm going to take this, I'm going to crimp it to the red wires that's coming out of the navigation unit. Let's do the pull test. Make sure it's not going to come loose on you. Good. Now let's take the 5-pin port plug from your interface. and plug it into the 5-pin female section of your camera selector box. Now we're going to take this plug right here from your front camera bundle. We are going to route it down here to our feet. I'm going to go right on top of this black support beam. You do not want to route under it because you might crimp the wire when you put your navigation unit back. A trick I like to use is using a flashlight. Stick it right under, right here, so light shines through. If you guys are having a difficult time routing this through the back of the radio all the way down to your feet, I would get something really long, such as this, or a coat hanger, and I would tape the ends of it with some tape. Now I would look right behind there, and if you notice the light, that is my flashlight. Make sure you go over the black beam, black support beam. You could stick your hands in here to help it along. There's plenty of space for your hands to get in here. I can go ahead and move my flashlight out of the way and grab my stick right here. Remove the tape and go ahead and pull on this wire. Give it some slack here. Not all the way, because we still have more work to do behind the navigation system. Now I'm going to attempt to do some cleanup work. All the RCA cables that I attached right here, I'm going to go ahead and black tape them so they do not come loose on me. When I do additional routings or when I put the radio back, nothing comes apart. I'm also going to make good use of tie wraps, zip ties, to clean up my wiring, just so everything looks straight and orderly. After wrapping my whole entire wire bundle with zip ties, this is what it looks like. Keep everything in a linear fashion. I even zip tie it to the original harness if I had to. That goes down there. Let's move on to the next step. Go to your workbench, grab your camera selector switch. It's going to have a 3-pin plug that's going to go into the camera selector module. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Let's look for your camera selector module, which is right here, and that plug is going to go right in here, the 3-pin. Let's plug it in. Now we're going to grab the switch and we are going to route it above this black support beam and route it until it falls below your radio. We're going to carefully take our navigation unit, we're going to take the wires that are behind it, and we are going to slowly route it behind here on top of the black support beam right here. We're going to make sure nothing comes loose while we're doing this and nothing gets pinched while we're putting all this back. You can go ahead and let it fall through there. Let gravity take its course. Make sure nothing's pinching by helping it along. Look between your air vents right here to get a better view. And go ahead and snap it back into place. At this point, you can go ahead and remove the covers. We are going to pick up our radio right here. We are going to locate, look underneath and locate that switch that we routed down here. And here it is, depending on where you want to install it. I am going to put it on the driver's side, so I'm going to route it to this side, making sure it's not going to pinch to my radio. And I am going to push the radio back in. After you put your radio back, you can go ahead and grab your switch from underneath your radio and go ahead and put it to the side. Right here, we're going to be sticking that somewhere after we install the center console back. I ended up deciding to install my switch right here, but because I have all the slack, I am going to shove it inside the opening back here. You got to remember, we also have a little plastic panel right here that's going to cover everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep pushing this wire. There it is. Pretty hidden. Doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Your camera, front camera cable right here that's going straight into your engine compartment. All I'm going to do is grab some zip ties, Zip it up really nice and neat and tuck it underneath our steering column somewhere. Lastly, don't forget to go back to your engine compartment, remove your screwdriver, and go ahead and route all your wires along the fender well right here and just zip tie it really neat and really clean and put back all your covers, and you should be done. You should be set. How this works is I'm going to push my button one time. After I push it one time, it's going to show the front camera. I push it a second time, it's going to show my reverse camera. It doesn't matter what gear I am, it's going to show my reverse camera, which is good if I want to take a look at somebody's license plate that's trailing me. If I push it again, it goes back to navigation. So let's go ahead and test out the camera. Let's push one time, the very first time, for our forward camera, and I am going to go towards that. Let's go ahead and take a look.